My complex patients are seeing a few different providers and getting information from several sources, and I can struggle to stand out. I know the feeling, right? Especially if my treatments don't knock it out of the park in the first month or if they stall after some initial success. I don't want to confuse patients or get into an indirect argument with another provider like a Lyme specialist or a rheumatologist. I like framework that can help patients group everything into 4 levels, right? So yeah, I've been promoting this framework, right? Sometimes practitioners come in through Modern Vitality. They see some of my videos where I'm talking to patients about healing in a 4-stage manner, and it's organized. And a lot of practitioners see that, and this is one of the reasons why this group exists, because I was getting inundated with practitioners trying to join my healing group, right? That's not appropriate. If you want to learn what I'm doing, come on in here. We're doing Doctors Club, and I'll show you behind the scenes and more so you can understand how to set up these types of frameworks. And this is important to say. I don't like getting in indirect arguments with other providers. This is really insightful. It's really insightful. And some of this also comes from, here's what happens to us, right? If we don't understand everything that's going on with a patient, or at least enough to really own the process, then to have integrity around that is to kind of default and yield, right? And just kind of cede that territory in the conversation. But the more we start to understand, there's an arc that happens here too, where people can overshoot this. The more we start to understand and see these larger processes, we can actually start to become more bold about directing a treatment plan to the point of being aggressive, right? This is where it gets to be too much, where you're controlling every little thing. And, you can say like, well, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about, and this person's wrong, and here's what they're missing. And you may be right, but you're also being an asshole, right? So there's like danger there. And ask me how I know, right? Ask me how I know. I've been there. So the other part is to start to tone it down with empathy. And one of the things we do is we start to expand our frameworks so that I'm never positioned where it's going to be the patient has to do my thing or something else. Never, ever, ever. Because I'm at a level where I understand the process. I've got clinical clarity around the process, right? The framework's moving through time. And I can help them start to organize all those things that they like doing with their rheumatologist and their Lyme specialist and all that. I start to organize that. I become the meta consultant for them. So I can take everything they're doing, I can put it in its place. I can organize it for them. And I can help them understand the strengths and pros and cons and weaknesses of the different things they're doing. And then whatever blind spots or gaps they have, I will fill in for them with herbs or different methods. It's a whole different way. I'm doing the same thing, in case you haven't noticed, with Doctors Club. People come in like practitioners, oh, I'm taking other mentorships. I don't want to mix mentors. That's what somebody said to me like a year ago. I don't want to mix mentors, so I'm kind of nervous to like do Doctors Club. That's a misconception. This isn't my way or that way. My way is so expansive, and it's rooted in first principles. So we can adapt it. We can take what you learned from, this is what I love about thinking like this, because I do the same stuff. I'm always kind of scouring around. I'm keeping track of like the latest things marketers are doing, the latest stuff with different kinds of software to deliver a course. Like, how can we use nonlinear note-taking software? Like, there's so many things that I'm always touching, right? And this is all coming back to my foundations and how I'm working my frameworks around online practice. So when a practitioner comes in and they've been learning how to do funnels and email sequences or whatever, right? Or they're taking a business leadership that teaches them about, self-love and how to understand their own gifts for the universe and the marketplace. Like, all that fits. I'm never at odds with this stuff. All of that fits within my larger framework. And then we organize it all so you're not getting overwhelmed, jumping from course to course to course to course to course, mentor to mentor to mentor, right? System to system to system. Instead, we can take everything, aggregate it, organize it, and now you got a place to start that's grounded in reality, that you're dealing with nature, a complex system. You're dealing with your practice as a living organism. You're giving it the respect it deserves. You're respecting the niche and the people you're trying to help by showing up like a professional. You've got your leadership hat on, right? You're not waiting for everybody to put a crown on your head. You're going to find it. You're going to build it yourself, put it on yourself, try it on, right? Stand up straight while you're at it. All those things. So you're not getting overwhelmed, and you can actually start to take action and do this stuff. And then where there are blind spots, right? I'm here. Where there are misalignments to reality from other models that are a little more linear, I'm here. We want to align you to nonlinearity so that you can get to point C and not be stuck doing time for money, living in a phone booth, right, all the time. There are times for the phone calls. There really are. It can be very useful in the beginning. But you don't want to lean on that forever, right? You give your time in that sense so that you can build something, and then that, of course, feeds the next layer, just like making sauerkraut, right? Just like I mentioned earlier. This is really important. So as your clinical clarity and your understanding comes up, you will naturally evolve into more of a leadership position in your communication with your patients. They're not going to be comparing you to the Lyme specialist. They're going to be asking you to confirm what the Lyme specialist said and to help them organize that. They're going to be asking you, how should I use the stuff the rheumatologist said? Right? They're coming to you now. It's like people talk about this trusted advisor or trusted guide. This is really the role you get into. You're not another practitioner competing for truth or whatever. You see everything. You see the whole board. This is clinical clarity. This is what we do here. I want you at that level. If you'd like to go deeper into these kinds of conversations, you may consider applying for the Damn Good Doctors Club. It's for health professionals only. There's an application. You'll find the link. I'll take a look. If it looks good, I'll see you in there. All right, get to work.